Disruptive English, Disruptive English, Essay Writing, Expansion Writing, Report Writing, Precise Writing, Letter Writing, Language Comprehensive, Grammar and Verbal Skill, Grammar and Verbal Skill हो गया Grammar and Verbal Skill, Content, Essay Writing, Reservation for Women in Legislature, Uniform Civil Code, Judicial Reform, Public interest litigation in integral part of the judicial activism, electoral reforms, police reforms, national language of India, national language of India, corporal punishment, freedom of press, trial by the media, politics of the coalition, national integration, nexus between politician and criminal, second Purna Swaraj, corruption in public life, right to information RTI, why not elected govern, political genocide, retirement of the politician, religions and politics, presidential system of the government in India, transparency in administration, secularism in India, secularism in India, problem of the urban working women in India, crime against women in India, gender bias India, women offer in armed force, the reservation policy, labor law, the lost childhood, home for the aid is AIDS, a dominant volcano, drug addiction, alcoholism in India, smoking in public place, euthanasia, merging killing, surrogate motherhood, capital punishment, narcotic analysis test, terrorism in India, red terror, global population, discipline in public lives, right of the differential able person, consumer protection law India, consumer protection law in India, consumer protection law in India, consumer protection special economic zone, flood in India, disaster management, expansion writing, okay, expansion writing, expansion writing, expansion writing, okay, expansion writing, expansion writing, expansion writing, okay, expansion writing, expansion writing, report writing, precise writing, letter writing, comprehension skill, subjective comprehension, part C grammar skill, function of tense, voice, clause analysis, non-finite verbs, narration, synthesis, transformation, preposition, miscellaneous, verbal skill हो गया, verbal skill, writing skill हो गया, हो गया, writing skill, chapter 1, essay writing, what in essay, what in essay, how to write in essay, logical arrangement, हो गया, logical arrangement, simple essay, reservation for women in legislature, reservation in women in legislature in a significant step. Rajya Sabha on 9 March 2010 vote to amend the constitution to reserve for women one-third of the seat in the Parliament and the State Assembly. Full stop. The bill known as 108 constitutional amendment now has to be passed by the Lok Sabha to become an act. First, the bill seeks to be reserve one-third of the seat for women in the Parliament and Legislative Assembly. Full stop. Secondly, the reserve seat may be allocated by notation to different constitution in a state or a union territory. Kindly, the reservation of the seat. Whoever shall cease to exist 15 years after the commencement of the act. Commencement of the act हो गया commencement of the act. Commencement of the act हो गया commencement of the act. Uniform Civil Code. India is a land of the diversity. Entering of different religion, creeds, provisions, and language. Full stop. In spite of the 68 year of the independence of the diversity of the country is not bound within a unifying force. Full stop. There is a lack of emotional and national integration. Full stop. Article 370 related to Kashmir is in a anomaly. It accord a special status to the state of the Jammu and Kashmir. People living in a nation are supposed to have one law based on concept of the one nation. And full stop. India is not a trouble politics. Not a trouble politics. Full stop. Unifying country into one healthy nation. We have a constitution that give equal right to the all cities, equal right to the all Indians, equal right to the all Indian, equal right to the all Indian, equal right to the all Indian, equal right to the all Indian. Judicial reform. Judicial reforms. Judicial reform in India is a subject that is quite wide-ranging in its magnitude and have been pending case long. Full stop. Judicial reform are required for the following component: speedily disposal of pending case, accountability of the judge, declaration of judge asset and procedure for the judge appointment. Full stop. Speedy administration of justice is the one aspect that the heart the common man's most full stop. In a malfunctioning democracy, judiciary is the last refuge for the redressal of the one problems. Something is a rotten in the state of the Denmark. Something in a rotten in the state of Denmark. It is as true of India as Hamlet had remarks about this own country. Full stop. It is horrifying to note that 70% of those in jail are made upon of the under trial awaiting justice. Under trial waiting a justice हो गया. Under trial waiting a justice. Under trial waiting a justice हो गया. National Judicial Appointment Commission. National Judicial Public Interest Litigation, an integral part of the judicial activism. The concept of the public interest litigation is in a consonance with the object enshrined in Article 39A of our Constitution, namely to protect and promote social justice with the help of law. Full stop. Now the court, under the impulse and motivation of the concept of the PIL, are bound to provide access to the court to large number of powers. Marks. Article 50 of the Constitution stipulate that the state shall endeavor to separate the judiciary from the executive in the public service of the state. It implies that the judiciary should be kept independent of the influence of the executive. Influence of the executive क्या? Influence of the executive. Influence of the executive क्या? Influence of the executive. Influence of the executive क्या? Influence of the executive. Influence of the executive क्या? Influence of the executive. Influence of the executive. Electoral reforms. Electoral reforms. Electoral reforms. Electoral reform हो गया. Electoral reforms. Electoral reform हो गया. Electoral reforms. Electoral reform हो गया. Electoral reform. Electoral reform हो गया. Electoral reform. Police reforms. India is still following the Police Act 1861, enacted just 4 years after the mutiny of the 1857. Full stop. One can imagine as to what kind of law it could have been then. The act must have recommended provision for the administrative interference and Dercoin order. Dercoin order from the above to keep foreign holder over India has as strongly as possible policy is a such in a dispensable subject is effect to the security of the common man most. The Police Act 1861 must have the intended to impose in a police regime. Police regime हो गया. Police regime. Police regime हो गया. Police regime. Police regime हो गया. Police regime. National language of India. National language of India. National language of India हो गया. National language of India. Corporal punishment. Corporal punishment हो गया. Corporal punishment. Corporal punishment. Freedom press. Freedom of press. The record of the freedom of the press in India has been laudable with the expansion of the emergency era in 1975-1977. Full stop. The Indian Constitution does not especially mention freedom of the press, but freedom of the press, freedom of the expression under Article 19 Clause 2 has been interpreted by the court to include freedom of press, full stop. All of the same, the freedom of the press does not mean a license. It is subject to be reasonable restriction in the interest of the security of the state, friendly relation with the foreign state and public order. Foreign state and public order हो गया. Foreign state and public order. Foreign state and trial by the mandal media. Trial by the media हो गया. Media is the force as state in a democracy. For state is state. Media is a for a state in a democracy. Full stop. The people form the government by handing over their mandate. Full stop. The media determine the quality of the governments and set the agenda for governments. So media has been rightly described as a हो गया. Politics of coalition. Politics of coalition. Politics of coalition. Politics of coalition. National integration. National integration. Nexus between politics and criminal. Politics and criminal हो गया. Politics and criminal. Second Swaraj. Second Swaraj हो गया. Second Swaraj. Second Swaraj हो गया. Second Swaraj. Corruption in public life. Corruption in public lives. Corruption in public life हो गया. Corruption in public life. Right to information. RTI. Right to information हो गया. RTI. Right to information हो गया. RTI. राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन किया गया. RTI हो गया. राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन हो गया. RTI. right to improve